I'm Daniel, or that's an anonymous name I'm using for this anyway. So I'm going to make a brief summary about PE, what it is, and why it works. So PE stands for penis enhancement or penis exercises, and the function of these exercises would be to enhance the size of your penis. There's a lot of skepticism surrounding this science, and understandably so. I understand the skepticism because there are so many scams out there regarding penis enlargement, pills that don't work, scams claiming you can grow your dick 4 inches overnight using this simple trick. However, there is no such trick. PE is a gradual process that occurs over time. You will require patience for this. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Anyway, to get to the point, how this works is mainly by creating small micro tears within your penis and letting it heal. This is similar to how the process of muscle growth works. You tear the muscle down by training it and it regrows bigger and stronger. But you need to be very careful when inducing hypertrophy in penile tissue. And a lot of people are skeptical about this because there is no muscle in your penis. Well, then I can give you example of people who have managed to grow non-muscular tissue in their bodies. For example, an ear, which is mainly made out of cartilage, no muscle whatsoever, can grow. Do you think this man was born with an ear like this? Probably not. I don't think this woman was born with lips like this either. Their skin has been gradually stretched over time, and their bodies were forced to adapt via mitosis. This can happen in all tissues. This is the principle of a penile extender. How an extender works is that you attach it to your Johnson and it can gradually stretch it over time. There have been a couple of studies confirming that extenders work actually. I'll link them below in the description. And studies have also demonstrated measurable improvements in penile length of people with Peyronie's disease that have been using a traction device. At 3 months of wearing the extender for 3 to 8 hours per day, penis length could increase from up to 1.7 to 2 centimeters. Those that used it for an additional 3 to 6 months added an additional 0.6 to 0.8 centimeters. Measurable and significant improvements in length was also seen in men who were only using the device for an average of 15 minutes per day as well. 95% of men treated for 6 months experienced length gains of an average between 2 and 2.2 centimeters. And to me, this isn't necessarily about advocating extenders, it's more about that this verifies that traction can increase length. All stretching exercises works on the same principle. You eventually stretch out your suspensory ligament and tunica albuginea for an increased erect length. The suspensory ligament is what holds the penis up, making the penis stick out during an erection. And the tunica albuginea is a fibrous tissue that wraps around the corpus cavernosum and spongiosum. The engorged corpus tissue pressing against this structure is what makes erections hard. There are some penis exercises which work with the same principle as the extender, which would be to stretch out these structures. And you don't need a device for that. There are some exercises that you can try with just your hands if you want to try something out before you buy any gear. A common critique people give of PE is that it's very dangerous and you can hurt yourself doing this. And they're completely right. This is very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Many people end up hurting themselves because they're impatient with the results and end up applying too much force. Let's take the examples from earlier. Take the girl with this thing in her bottom lip. What do you think would happen if someone with a regular sized bottom lip tried to force this thing inside all at once without any prior stretching? Well, the result certainly wouldn't have been pretty, and the person would have ended up permanently injured. The same thing applies to PE. Force needs to be gradually applied over time for good results without injury. Just like there is no way to put on 30 pounds of muscle in a single workout, there is no way to put on 2 inches of penis length overnight. Be patient, be persistent, and the results will come over time. So far, I've only talked about methods for increasing length, but there are reliable methods for increasing girth as well. The main methods for increasing girth are by penis pumping and jelqing. Well, these actually work for length a bit too, but they're mainly for girth. And how this works is by forcing blood through the penis shaft to increase the internal pressure, which ultimately forces the blood vessels to expand a little bit, creating a larger volume for blood to pull up in. Once again, you need to be very careful with how you do this. If you're using a pump, I strongly recommend getting one with a gauge, because you should stay in between 2.5 and 3.4 pounds of pressure per square inch. If the pressure is too low, you won't make progress, but if it's too high, you'll end up bursting your fucking blood vessels, so be very careful. And that's why I strongly recommend pumps with a gauge, because not keeping track of how much pressure you're applying makes things too uncertain. A common critique of penis pumps is that you'll just end up bursting your blood vessel. And yes, that's true, if you do not know what the fuck you're doing. If I'm going to be honest, there hasn't been much clinical evidence demonstrating that pumps increase cock size in healthy men. However, I don't think that's because they don't work. I think the issue is due to a lack of documentation. Most of the evidence I've seen has not been scientific data, it's been anecdotal and on PE forums. But I've seen such a large collection of anecdotes that it almost becomes ridiculous to deny it at this point. One study I could get, though, was again a study of people with Peyronie's disease, where supposedly the role of vacuum pump therapy was an attempt to mechanically straighten the penis, which they did manage to succeed with. Some patients had a reduction in the angle of the curvature of up to 25 degrees. More relevant to this video though, of the 31 men who completed the study, before vacuum therapy, the average length in stretched penile length was 13 centimeters, with a range value between 10 to 16 centimeters. After vacuum therapy, increase in stretched penile length was observed in 11 men, with a mean range value of an increase between 0.5 to 1.5 centimeters. But enough with the devices, there are exercises you can do from home by using just your hands. The main ones are jelqing, stretching, and kegels. I suggest you go and check out the video made by Jelk to Grow on how to actually do them. I'm not going to waste any more time explaining how to perform those exercises, so go and check that video out if you want a clearer picture of exactly what to do. Speaking of Jelk to Grow, this may be a little off topic, but I'll actually be their poster boy. I'll be showing my before and after pictures, so I'm working with them. And they actually have services that I'd recommend too if you want to be doing PE. They can create a PE schedule specified just for you and the goals you have in mind. You can get individual coaching and clarifications about how to do the exercises, explanations for what you might be doing wrong, demonstrations on how to do them differently, etc. Which is to make sure you do get the benefits and that you're not hurting yourself by doing things improperly. Over there you can talk to people extremely knowledgeable about this topic. I'll link to their website in the description below. What you might have noticed if you clicked the instruction video from Jelk to Grow was that they recommended a balm in the beginning, also called Jelk to Grow, and I'd actually recommend that balm for PE too. The main ingredients in Gel to Grow are shea butter, beeswax, and tea tree oil. Shea butter and beeswax prevent keloid fibroblasts, scar tissue, from forming whilst encouraging healthy cell growth. This is partially why shea butter is used as a skincare product, because it can improve the healing process of acne scars. So, why would this be relevant to PE? Well, remember, PE works by creating micro tears in penile tissue. Those tears are not supposed to be permanent. If you speed up the healing process of those tears, you speed up how quickly you can make gains. Beeswax is also very rich in vitamin A, which can speed up healing too. Additionally, shea butter contains triterpenes and linoleic acid, which helps reduce inflammation. These are a group of compounds that help with cell migration, collagen deposition, and cell proliferation, which is the process in which cells grow and divide. As an emollient, shea butter helps trap moisture in the skin. Its linoleic acid also has properties that boost the skin's hydration process. Keep in mind that hydrating the skin is not interchangeable from moisturizing it. Compounds that hydrate the skin, humectants, pull water into the skin from within the body or the environment, whereas compounds that moisturize the skin, occlusives, seal in water and help shore up the skin's barrier functions. And I think having more water pulled into the skin would lead to better pumps when performing girth exercises. In general, I think all types of lubricants would make most exercises easier and more comfortable to perform actually. Now, beeswax and tea tree oil are powerful moisturizers, so they are occlusives. They're good for making your skin look shiny and healthy. Additionally, tea tree oil has also been proven to be anti-inflammatory and having wound healing properties. These are There are more ingredients, but those are the main ones, and I felt like I wanted to summarize what they do. Anyway, if you feel convinced to buy this product, you can use my code DG2G for 25% off, link in the description. That's all I have to say for this video. So, thank you for watching. See you.